Morning, friends. Pastor Al, Monday, May 5th. You got any rocks in your life? Growing up on the farm, we had to pick rocks every spring because it seemed like they kept popping up. Not a lot, but enough that they could damage some equipment, and so you had to get them off the field. Well, we know that when Jesus died, that they rolled the big stone in front of the tomb. And, it was to keep um, for burial, to keep the smell of decay in, but also to keep others from going in and stealing the body and all that kind of stuff. Um, but on the Sabbath, the day after the Sabbath, on Sunday morning, we know the story. The women were going to the tomb to finish the burial process. And on the way, according to Mark's gospel, the women were asking each other, who will roll the stone away from the entrance to the tomb? They knew they had to do this. They wanted to do this. They wanted to go and take care of Jesus' body the proper way because it wasn't time to finish it after his death on Friday. And yet there was a stone in the way. There was a blockage. They had no physical power to move it. But we know the story. When they got there, the stone was already moved. Who moved the stone? Well, God moved the stone, didn't he? We sent angels, however it worked, but God moved that stone so the women could enter in. So I was just thinking, what stones are in your life? We all face some. Sometimes they're just little pebbles, but they cause us irritation. Sometimes they're boulders. You get that diagnosis of cancer. You get that call that a loved one has died. You get that, all those things. They're huge boulders in our lives. And we try to move them on our own power with our own strength. But friends, we can't. But God can. I just want to encourage you to remember that. If you got a stone in your life, or when you face one, because you will, God can move the stones. And he's still in the stone moving business. Trust him and lean on him. Have a blessed day, my friends.